over the weekend, the NBA announced the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. And this is a star-studded class. You have Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, two of arguably the greatest point guards of all time, being joined by one of the greatest three-point shooters of all time in Ray Allen and Grant Hill, to go along with longtime college basketball coach Lefty Drizzle, women's basketball stars Katie Smith and Tina Thompson, and four-time NBA All-Star Maurice Cheeks. Dave, what do you think of this year's Hall of Fame class?
Well, I mean, the focus obviously goes on the guys that we literally watched their whole career. I mean, Ray Allen, before Steph Curry, was the greatest shooter we ever saw from three. Mm-hmm. You think about I'm sorry. You think about what he was able to do for Miami, when they were able to hit that Game 6 shot, to get to Game 7 and end up winning the title for Game 7. I mean, I don't think there's a single person that's not a Heat fan that thinks that Miami should have lost that game. I mean, come on, let's be serious. But either way, they won it, and it got them a title. Ray Allen, I don't know what the hell happened with him. And, the guys from Boston, with KG and Paul Pierce and Rondo, I don't really get it, or the whole beef thing with them, so that's kind of sad.
Yeah.
But, as a Bulls fan, I remember those games that Chicago and Boston had against each other in the, mid-earliest 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
He was an unbelievable dude, clutches all hell, so obviously love that. Steve Nash, I mean, what can you say about Steve Nash? The guy was a monster from Canada, small little dude, soccer attitude, all these different things, and he's out there balling in the NBA, and not only just doing that, but he's owning it. I do think he did steal an MVP from Kobe, but, we won't dive into all that.
Well, Shaq still thinks he stole a couple MVPs from him. Because I don't know if you ever, it's one of the funniest things I ever saw. Do you ever watch, I think it's NBA Network, NBA TV puts these on, NBA Open Court, where they have all the former basketball players who work for Turner basically doing roundtable discussions on different basketball topics. They did one, it was like best all-decade teams, and they were picking players. And Shaq started going off about Steve Nash and a couple different. So Ernie Johnson sat him down on the couch like he was a psychiatrist or something. So Shaq lays down on the couch and he just starts going off. Yeah, I'm mad. Steve Nash is a little Canadian dude. He shouldn't have won. It's one of the funniest things. You could find it on YouTube. It's hysterical.
I sadly do not get MEA TV, so I have not seen that. But I believe it, because Shaq is hysterical, so.
Mm-hmm. Watch it on YouTube sometime. I'm telling you, it's great. Isaiah Thomas had a moment like that, too, where he was going off about not being put on the dream team.
Oh, poor Isaiah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, Steve Nash is just something special, man. He was a lot of fun to watch. My most vivid memories of Steve Nash were watching him play, not only with Dirk, because, you got to remember, those two started together.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people actually forget that, but they started together, and, man, if they stayed together, what might have been, to me, that always could have been the next Dr. Malone, but they didn't keep it together long enough, I guess. I don't know. But big fan of Steve Nash, man. I remember the playoff series he had against Kobe and the Lakers. They were, just entertaining. And not to mention, like I said, 6-foot guard from Canada. Not many people expect some Canadian guy to come into the NBA and win 2 MVPs.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention, from what I understood, he was a class act, too. He was a good guy.
Absolutely.
So, you got that, and then, Kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kid. How do I feel like I'm, right?
Yes, Kid.
Yeah, Kid. Jason Kidd, to me, if he had the athleticism and, physical attributes of LeBron James would have been LeBron James before LeBron James. Ultimate all-around player, triple-double master. And even as a Bulls fan, you couldn't help but root for those New Jersey Net teams with him and Kerry Kittles and Kenyon Martin. I mean, they were a lot of fun to watch, and J.K. was a large reason because of that. So, huge fan of him. But yeah, I mean, dude, like you said, it's one of those things where we're at the point now where we're literally watching guys that we grew up playing and go in, and it's just crazy to me, and it makes me feel old. But besides that, I gotta love those three guys specifically.
Yeah, I'm not really too much to add on those three, but I'll tell you, Nash, yes, he started his career with Dirk and everything, and it's amazing how long both those guys have really been around. You think about Steve Nash, though, you think those incredible Phoenix teams that had Sean Marion and Amari Stoudemire and Nash leading the whole thing. Those were some great teams right there. I mean, you knew they weren't going to last in the playoffs, and of course they never were able to make it past the second round, I think. But those were some incredibly talented teams. And when you have Joe Johnson, who's basically an afterthought on that team, as your fourth or fifth guy, you're freaking stacked on that team. And we know Joe Johnson was able to turn the success that those teams had into $90 million for himself. But the fact is, Joe Johnson on those teams probably played some of the best basketball of his whole career. And we all know he was never really the same when he left those teams. So give Nash a lot of credit for what he was able to do there. I'm going to say this, though. The one guy you didn't talk about, Grant Hill. And I think the reason you didn't talk about him is because, listen, we know Grant Hill was a great player in college, and the first few years of his career, he looked like he was going to be an all-time great. In my opinion, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, not just for what he did the first few seasons of his career, but the fact that he was able to play so long after all those major injuries he suffered that derailed what could have been an all-time great career. And he turned himself into a very solid role player for about 5 or 6 years there with Phoenix. I think he went to the Clippers at one point too. He had a very good, almost second career there. Never lived up to what the first few years of his career looked like. But I think one of the all-time great questions will always be, what if Grant Hill didn't suffer those major injuries when he signed that contract with Orlando, man? Because that Orlando team with him and Tracy McGrady really could have done some damage in the NBA around that time.
Yeah, no, those teams could have been something special. And look, I agree. I think why Grant Hill is the guy that came to me when I wanted to, kind of focus on those guys was, like you said, it's the injuries. It's the fact that when it's really all said and done, he never truly lived up to what his potential actually was. And, it wasn't his fault. There was nothing he could have done about it, but it still sucks.
Yeah.
And being a fan of, what he was, I don't know, man. That just, I agree. He deserves it over not just what he managed to make his career, but also what he was as a college player, what he's done in broadcasting. I mean, he is a NBA guy. So I do think he deserves it either way. But, yeah, the kid Nash and, wow, I keep getting blanks, man. I'm getting tired. Sorry.
Kid Nash and, now you did it to me, Allen.
Allen, yeah. I mean, those are the guys, man. I got to watch them. I mean, Ray Allen, a lot of people forget what a freak of an athlete he was when he played in Milwaukee. So,
yeah.
But, hey, they usually get it right in the NBA. I never really have I can't get why you put them in their feeling when they do their Hall of Fame classes.
Yeah, it's not like it's the WWE or anything like that. So they got that going for them.